Hey, it's Sunday. It's Sunday and I'm drinking. Yes, yes. Response time. Response to, how should we say, Dave and Dave. Dave Junk Heap and Smizno Dave. This is a response I've been trying to get out for absolutely a few days now. And I've had time to think about it, and it's really based. Age of Extinction, a lot of us have seen it, a lot of us have baffled it, a lot of us said it's shit, a lot of us said it's good. Common ground. But, arguments, Dinobots, creators, Smizno and Junkeep have both released videos. I haven't seen many other people do it, but they're the main two I'm going to focus on. Now, creators, plausible. I like this idea of quintessons. Yes, why not? Seeding the planet to create metal to build robots. It sounds plausible. It's something the quintessons would do. If you remember quite relevantly from Generation 1, they do scatter around the universe looking to enslave other races. Why not? They're weapons, tech specialists, so why not see the planet that is compatible with their physiology of, I don't know, transforming the planet into metal? Why not? It seemed very, very much plausible. Also, the hint of Lockdown mentions to Optimus, you were built, not born. But, him saying that raises questions. Now, I'll leave that to one side. The Dinobots. Big thing about Dinobots is why they all of a sudden appear. There's no logical explanation behind it. Bay explains it really, really poorly. There's no transition between scenes. There's no backlog to them. They're just there. I mentioned in my first rant with Ms. Amanda that they were possibly trophies of Lockdown. Therefore, that's why they exist on his ship. However, we have to take into consideration the ship. Now, the ship, as far as I'm aware, is made of two separate components. A, Lockdown ship, which is the Harbinger, and B, the Knight's Terminus, which is the other ship, the Knight's ship. Now, saying that the ship is a trophy of Lockdowns, plausible. Definitely, why not? That's why all the other primes are on it, and he's after the last prime. Why is Lockdown after the S Prime? We don't know. It never explained Lockdown's priorities behind, I want Optimus, just that because. Is Lockdown, obviously, can we come to the conclusion, is Lockdown working for possibly the creators, aka the Quintessons? I'm willing to go with that. If we all know who the Quintessons are from, say, the latter half of Generation 1, we know they're quite treacherous. They will strike a deal with anyone to get the best out of anyone. Plausible. And if we know Michael Bay, he likes to go with obscure characters. Plausible. However, the Dinobot being on the ship still doesn't make sense. People, Dave, Smizzo, if they're on Lockdown ship, if they're captive from Lockdown ship, why, when Optimus says we need to go and build a new army, that they instantly transform into Dinobot forms? That bit doesn't make sense. Now, if we look at the previous films and what the fundamental principle of Robots in Disguise is they all have to scan or take or mirror a certain object shape based on mass to convert to it, to disguise. That's what the Transformers Robots in Disguise is primed upon. So, if they're on Lockdown ship, how can they scan anything that isn't represented, for instance, a dinosaur? Now, it would have been plausible to say that if the fossil that we see in the beginning of AOL, isn't that the network provider? Whatever. AOE, Age of Extinction, where they find the fossilized Tyrannosaur, whatever it is, are they lingering on Lockdown ship, therefore allowing them to scan that particular fossil and convert into it? No, that's not explained. Crabbies. Yes, it's good. But it raised the question, how did they get the Dinobot modes? Now they're in China, fair dues. But they don't, as it is a problem from scene to scene throughout the entire film, it doesn't show you them scanning. It doesn't have any hint of what they scanned. So, my theory is the Dinobots and the Night Terminus, the ship that they're on, are actually on Earth during the latter half of the Cretaceous period when the creators come along. Now, we can assume that either the creators have been chasing the Knights of Cybertron, therefore they know about Cybertron, and therefore have followed this sentient race of robots to Earth. Or it could be just that they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And in doing so, that the Knights of Cybertron have visited Earth, which for whatever reason you make it your own assumptions of, have landed on Earth and taken the forms of dinosaurs. They have scanned biological dinosaurs, therefore taking the forms. Now there's just a few bits and bobs, hence at what point Cretaceous, Jurassic periods did Triceratops exist, blah blah, whether it be fossils, who knows, but let's not go into complication and just say that they've scanned these kind of dinosaurs, therefore taking the existing forms of the Dinobots. That, fair dues. Now, have the creators captured the Night Terminus, the ship, therefore taking it away with them? Hence, millions of whatever years later, Lockdown comes along, strikes a deal with the Quintessons, takes the Harbinger and takes the ship because now the Quintessons learn something about the Primes on Cybertron, whether we have a sort of cross G1 mix of storylines, who knows? And Lockdown takes the ship of the Night Terminus, combines it into his ship, goes on the route to collect all the primes because Quintessons have basically said, go and find them, we'll give you one. Here's a seed, whatever. Hence, he's come across Optimus Prime, therefore he's hunting Optimus Prime for the last of the Knights of Cybertron. Hence the term, the last Knight, last Prime. Big coincidence. I like the idea of Quintessons, I like the idea of the Knights. It still doesn't, like I said, doesn't explain why they've instantly got the Tyrannosaur mode, the Dinobot mode. That is my theory. The Dinobots were on Earth previous to the creators, possibly exploring for unknown reasons. Earth has some significance within the Transformers universe prior to any knowledge of going to Earth. Possibly Omega Locks, Cyber Keys, who knows. But that's my theory. Dinobots on Earth, creators come along, we like it and stuff like that. Possibly capture the Knights leaders, Knights warriors, because they are legends. They after all fall into mythology, and they're captured millions of years later. Lockdown comes along, takes the such, goes back to Earth, finds Optimus. Story told. What do you think of that then? Let me know, please. Bye.